All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's put the spotlight on Renesas. Well, Electronics and Information Technology, Railways and Information and Broadcasting Minister Shri Ashwini Vaishnav inaugurated the new state-of-the-art design facility of Renesas Electronics India Private Limited in Noida and Bengaluru. Remember, this will be the first company to design 3nm chips in India. These will be made end-to-end in India. The IT minister said that India already has 5nm and 7nm chips in place, and that the latest announcement is a milestone that places India firmly in the global league of semiconductor innovation. And to talk about that and more, I'm now joined by Malini Narayanamoorthi, Country Manager India for Renesas. Thank you very much, Malini, for joining us here on ET Now.
Thank you, Sumita. Thanks for having me.
All right, Malini, let me first begin with these 3nm chips that the IT minister announced yesterday. And of course, a notification from Renesas is also gone. How significant is this for Renesas as a company for choosing India for the production of these chips?
So the 3nm chips that we're designing are for high-performance compute applications, largely on the automotive space, to really cater to applications like ADAS and software-defined vehicles. Now, India has, as you know, a very solid talent pool. We've been in the chip design space for a number of years, and so it is both motivating, and I think it's very deserving for India to be doing 3nm chips. We're very excited about the prospect of it.
Right. So, Malini, which particular consumer segments or industrial segments will be focusing on for the production of these 5nm chips in terms of your clientele?
So, 3nm chips will be mostly focused on the automotive space. Like I said, it would be largely focused on four-wheeler vehicles and largely focused on automotive, autonomous driving and software-defined vehicles. So hopefully it gets us to the point of driverless cars sooner rather than later.
Right. So you have big plans so far as catering to the automotive segment is concerned, Malini, but you're already partnering with CG Power for a chip assembly plant that is being built at an investment of over 7,000 crores. Give us a status check on that plant. How's it coming up, and how soon is a chip rollout from the plant likely?
Yeah, we, as you know, we're minority stakeholders along with CG Power on the CG Semi joint venture. The plant is the plant is being at the moment constructed. We have a great partnership with the CG Power team. We're expecting the facility to be completed later this year and chips to be produced next year.
All right, so the chip will be produced next year. And, you know, while you spoke about the 3nm chip, well, that will cater primarily to the automotive segment. But when you talk about this particular plant, which segments are you focused on?
So this particular plant will focus on all the different segments Renesas focuses on, and we will decide based on priority of how we would like to line them up. Renesas focuses on automotive, industrial infrastructure, as well as IoT type of applications. And we are working through how we would sequence this through the CG Semi joint venture.
Right. Malini, now when we're speaking about the semiconductor ecosystem, the semiconductor industry, there's been a lot of government push so far as a policy push is concerned. We have the Semiconductor Scheme 1.0, Semiconductor India Mission. Of course, as the industry is now asking for a Semiconductor India Mission 2.0. And just today, the IT minister also announced a new project, which is between HCL and Foxconn. I want to understand from you, given that you're a significant part of the ecosystem, what further policy push will industry stakeholders need for a push being given to the semiconductor industry, given that you know, the industry takes a lot of time to properly get set up, and there is a lot of investment that's needed for this semiconductor ecosystem and local players to come up?
Yeah, so I think we have to wait to see what the 2.0 looks like before we figure out what more we need. In terms of the specific gaps that I see, I do see that we need to focus a little bit more on the system engineering side of things, where where if we do want to move towards our vision of becoming a product nation, I think the push towards system engineering, product engineering, and customer engineering are very important pieces to drive through the whole ecosystem.
Right. And how is Renesas Global, which essentially is based in Japan, looking at India as a market for semiconductor and semiconductor chips production, given that we are seeing, this chips race is prevalent everywhere. So whether you see the United States, you see China, everybody wants to become a chip manufacturing and chip exporting nation.
Renesas, as you saw yesterday, we inaugurated 2 facilities, one in Noida, another in Bangalore. We're expanding our talent database significantly in India. Our Japan, our CEO is a big believer in India, as you may have heard from his speeches from last year. We believe that there are a lot of applications we can cater to, being an embedded systems company, which would really help drive towards the infrastructure as well as the automotive side of applications. And so we see a huge potential in the India market. We are working through lining up our teams to be able to cater to the India market on these different applications.
All right. And, when you talk about these 3 NM chips, what is the production capacity that you're looking at, especially with respect to the domestic market?
Well, as we move again towards the autonomous driving, we have a significant volume of cars in India. These 3 nanometer chips will slowly penetrate into the cars, the advanced cars that go into India. So that gives you a sense of the market potential in India.
Absolutely. Malini, one final question before we let you go, and this is essentially on the opportunity that the exports as a market that you're looking at. Will you be looking at exporting these chips that are being made in the plant that you have with CG Power and these 3 NM chips? How are you looking at export as an opportunity, and how soon are you likely to undertake that, given that domestic market and meeting the needs of the domestic market will be your first priority?
Well, all the chips that we make today are made in India, for India, and the world. We will continue with that mission. I think it lines very well with the way the government is thinking about it too. So even with the CG Semi, we will look at all our opportunities as make in India, for India and the world.
All right, Malini, thank you very much for taking the time out and speaking with us right here on ET Now, talking about your growth plans and, of course, what Renesas as a company is looking at when it comes to India as an opportunity in the semiconductor space. Thanks very much once again for joining us.
Thank you, Sumita.